Hello and welcome to Wanjiru Kaburu's Vibes. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to listen to a mother's letter to her son. Before you start wondering, what does that have to do with me? Do me two little favors. One, imagine you are Luke. And two, listen keenly, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Dear Luke, today you picked a little yellow rosebud from the garden and carried it into the house to give it to me. Your little baby face beamed up at me as you gave me the rosebud. What joy that moment held for me! What joy knowing how deeply I love you! As I went to put the rosebud in water, I realized it had no stem and that without water, it would never grow from a rosebud into a beautiful full rose, but that soon, or too soon, it would die. I felt sad for a moment at this thought, and as I watched you toddle across the room, I wondered how I might help you, my little rosebud, grow and blossom into manhood. What can I teach you? What can I say to you that will help you to grow up in this thorny world and yet know peace, joy, and happiness, which, dear Luke, are the greatest treasures anyone can possess? Always know, Luke, that you are deeply loved. You are loved by Daddy and me, and your brothers and sisters. But as you grow up and begin to ask questions for yourself, you will know that men and women have a need in their hearts for something more, something deeper than that found even in the very best of human love. As you walk along a beach at night and listen to the waves lapping gently on the shore, or look up into a night sky at millions of stars, know too that the one who created all this created it for you because he loves you. You are the part of this beautiful creation and you're beautiful, special, and unique in this universe. Love and believe in yourself because only then can you love and believe in others. Look, do not be afraid to love others unselfishly. Yes, many times you will get your fingers pricked on the thorns of disappointment or rejection, but many more times you will pluck the rose of love and receive great happiness and joy from its sweet scent and color. Don't be afraid to risk loving and remember that as the little rosebud needed the water to live, so much more you and I and all the people of the world need to love and be loved. Know that love is the greatest gift you personally can give to another fellow traveler along the thorny path of life. As you grow up in the Christian tradition, struggle each day to be more Christ-like. Pray to be more loving, compassionate, courageous, gentle, and peaceful. Try to see Christ in everyone, especially the suffering Christ, and serve and help to remove causes of that suffering where you can. Remember, it is a dead faith that has only words. Acts of love and compassion for the spiritually and materially poorest of the poor is where true faith blossoms. With ever so gentle steps, walk side by side with other travelers on this thorny path of life. They will differ from you in color, creed. There are many paths to God. They differ from you in culture and politics. But above all, remember that your fellow travelers have the same needs as you. Our common humanity is far more important than any religious or political ideologies. Treat every man and woman justly and gently as you'd have them treat you. In your life, Luke, pray to be a just man. Your life is precious and sacred, Luke, and your first right as a human being is your right to your life. So, as you would ask natural justice of your fellow travelers in respecting your right to life, you too must give justice and must respect every person's right to life. This means, my little son, that you must never kill another human being. It will not be easy for you to refuse to kill. Sadly, we live in a world where those who refuse to kill and choose to live nonviolent lives are looked upon as naive or as cowards. Yes, it will take all of your courage to walk unarmed and refuse to hate and kill in a world which insists that you must have enemies and be prepared to kill them before they kill you. Stand tall and strong, armed only with love, dear Luke, and refuse to hate. Refuse to have enemies. Refuse to let fear master your life. Only love can bring down the barriers of hate and enmity between men and nations. Hate and weapons only fuel the fear and bring closer the day of war. Let no man plant in your heart the first seed of pride in any country's flag, a seed that produces the flower of narrow nationalism, which grows so widely, trampling and killing all life around it. Remember always, Luke, people are more important than countries. I will not give one hair of your precious head for any country. You are more important than any country. And if I feel this passionate love for you and for my other children, Mark, Joanne, Mary Louise, and John, I too feel passionately for the little children who today die of starvation in Ethiopia, for the little children in Moscow and the little children in New York who are told they must be enemies and may end up someday killing each other in the name of a flag. Remember, Luke, you have no country. The world is your country. You have not only two brothers and two sisters, but millions of brothers and sisters. Pray also for the gift of wisdom. It is a wise person who soon comes to know that the human family's real enemies are injustice, war, starvation, and poverty. But wise people also know that it is only by people becoming different and thinking in new ways that these things will change. When human life is held as so sacred that no one can kill, justice will reign in people's hearts and in all lands. Wars will be no more. Justice will mean that no one has too much, while some have nothing. Greed and selfishness will turn into feeding the hungry and removing all poverty. It is possible, Luke, to change to this kind of world. You just have to refuse to accept the old ways of thinking and doing things and begin to think and act in a way more in tune with magnificent goodness in humanity. All people know today that killing and starvation are wrong. It is just that not enough are prepared to change themselves and to work in making things different. And now, my little son, before you fall asleep, let me say the most important thing of all to you. Be happy. Be joyous. Live every minute of these beautiful gifts of life. When suffering comes into your life, and sadly, I cannot, much as I would love to, protect you from all suffering, and when you come through the winter of your life, remember that summer will return, the sun will shine again, and the road will be covered in beautiful, very beautiful yellow roses of love. God bless you and keep you, my little Luke. Mommy. I came across this letter by Mairead Maguire, one of the women peace, Nobel Peace Prize laureates, when I was reading the book Battling Injustice by Supriya Vani. And I couldn't help but think that this woman was speaking to all of us, to every living, breathing being walking on the face of earth. We are the Luke, the children of the universe that she was speaking to. And every word of that letter cut deep in my heart, especially the emphasis on what our focus should be. And when she focuses or calls us to know that we have no nation, but the world is our nation. That is not the siblings we have in the house, the tribesmen that are our brothers and sisters, but millions of the children across the world are our siblings. I love when she calls us to use love as a weapon to fight injustice and to bring peace. And that is why I asked you in the beginning to imagine you are Luke and listen to this letter keenly with not just your ears, but your heart. I decided to verbalize this letter in one of the episodes of this podcast, hoping to speak to someone who may not have gotten hold of this letter in this book or any other book. And it is my hope that anytime you tend or come close to forget why you're here, who you are, and what you should be doing, you can always come back to this episode and listen to this letter, because you are Luke. This woman is speaking to you. The universe is calling upon you and me to have the courage to change the world in our own ways, in our own spaces, by doing what seems difficult but simple, standing by love for humanity, and using that as a weapon.